start a brand new day. The SGX Nifty is a tad bit soft. Actually, it's worsened a little bit, down about 34 odd points. But let's see, we've had a smooth run under our belt. The Nifty is well above that 11,500 marks. Let's see what today holds in store. But our research team is here to give you the list of top 10 stocks as we kickstart trade today. Anuj, let me begin with you. What is on your list?
Sonia, first is Apollo Hospitals. Yesterday it had that big rally, then a decline, and that decline was also bought. So will be interesting to see. This could be one of those buy on dip stocks if it holds yesterday's low. So that would be something that I would keep on my radar. And the other stock is it's more of a Fed play if you have that second half rally in the financials, Bajaj Finance, which is really the high beta play over here. Just if you see a second half financials rally, this could be one stock in focus.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Well, one stock that's definitely going to be on the radar is going to be Sterlite Technologies. Rima, tell us the announcement.
Well, the announcement is that the company is going to build an optical fiber network for Bharti Airtel in 10 circles. The size of the order is not known, but it's a positive nonetheless. Back to you.
Okay, and we just heard from the management of Hexaware, but Nimesh, tell us more about that.
So, the delisting process is extended by 1 day by SEBI, and there is a technical reason why this extension was given. So, Friday's payout was delayed, and because of which a lot of retail investors could not tender the shares in the delisting process yesterday, which is the reason why the date is got extended to today evening. So, that's the data. In terms of numbers, total 8.5 crore shares got tendered till yesterday evening, and out of which the highest number of bids came in at 475, which is close to 8.35 crore shares. Now, the total bids required for the company to successfully delist is 8.26 crore shares. So, in terms of number of shares, it's pretty much in the bag for Hexaware now. And for bearings, the key question now is, will bearings accept the discount price of 475? That should be known by early next week.
Oh yes, and that really is the big question, and indications are that perhaps it should be a done deal on Hexaware. Nimesh, thanks a lot for that. Now we are almost at end of Q2, but some companies still reporting Q1 numbers, and of course we all know it was a washout, and same is the case with SpiceJet, Sonia.
It was a washout quarter for them, so the revenues were down 82%. There's a big loss, net loss of 600 crores that the company has reported. But I'm going with green because the street will definitely look ahead. The company is now operating at 47% of its pre-COVID schedule. And in their Q1 update, they say that they're operating 13 cargo aircrafts and the cargo revenues have more than doubled. So at least they're doing well on that front. The market share is maintained above 16% despite the COVID issues. And the company has launched an aggressive cost reduction program where they're restructuring all their aircraft leases and they're doing an early return of aircrafts in order to cut their costs. So I'm going with green because of the unlocked trade and because of the cost reduction program that the company has undertaken.
Okay, well, but it's such a weak quarter, Sonia, that I have a feeling Indigo will be in the green because there will be absolutely no competition the way things are panning out. Okay, I just want to put three other consumer durable stocks on the radar. We heard from the finance ministry, sources told CNBC-Tv18 that the customs department is going to very closely monitor imports from the FTA, the free trade zone area, and they are going to be monitoring it for white goods, set-top boxes, cameras, electronic goods. Now, this is going to be done under the rules of origin verification norms. Obviously, they don't want too many, perhaps, Chinese products which are not very expensive and which can be made in India. Now, this could mean again delays for the guys who are dependent on imports of some vital parts. So I'm just picking up Amber and Dixon and maybe Whirlpool. Havells doesn't import much from China. So it's possible that there is a bit of a jitter. It's just that the news could spark a little bit of concern.
All right. Nigel's been waiting by patiently, so let's go across to him. Nigel, you have some numbers on your list?
Well, that's right, Sonia. Some backdated numbers for the past quarter, and a couple of them look quite good. So let's start off with NFL. Out there, those numbers looked quite good. We know that the rural theme has been doing well. Fertilizers as well have been doing well. So those numbers as well get a thumbs up. You're giving a growth of close to around 10% or thereabouts. Margins expanding to more than 11%. So thumbs up out there. Next one is P&G Health. Remember, in the last couple of days, I've been noticing that volumes have been rather high out there. But the numbers looked quite good out there because the EBITDA growth, EBITDA decline was only in single digits, though we had a top line decline of more than double digits. That told you that margins expanded to around 26%. So thumbs up there. But Liberty Shoes, they're not sprinting off by any stretch of imagination. Big decline in terms of the revenue, down by close to around 70% odd, and the profitability as well took a hard knock. Back to you.
Okay, Nigel, thanks a lot for that. And Agam has some more stocks on his radar. Agam?
Right, a handful of power companies and capital good companies also announcing earnings. I'm going to start with Sterling and Wilson. Weak set of numbers, revenues declined 14%, a considerable contraction in EBITDA margins, which is why profit has come down to a third at 17 crores. Moving on to VA Tech, Wabag, where we have seen a subdued quarter. The international markets have come in aid of the top line, which has declined just 6%. There has, however, been a contraction in EBITDA margins at 6.7%. And we've also seen net profit much more higher as compared to year-on-year because of lower taxes paid. And finally, coming down to ITD Cementation, again a weak quarter, a 43% decline in revenue. Margins also contracting to 7.4% against 10.6%, and we've seen a loss of 16.9 crores against a gain of 16.9 crores on a year-on-year basis.
Okay, so mostly red. Thanks, Agam. Reema, back to you. There were some sundry announcements to the exchange. Anything important?
Yes, Lata, 4 stocks and all in the green for me. Let me start with Aurobindo Pharma, where the company, along with the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, have announced that they will collaborate together and develop a COVID-19 vaccine. So that's positive. Radico Khaitan has announced that the promoters have repaid all the loans against their pledge share. The last bit of 1.1% stake was left, which was released just a couple of days ago. IRB Infrastructure has said that they have signed a concession agreement with NHAI where they will develop the Mumbai-Vadodara Expressway. The total size of the deal is 1,755 crore rupees. And Lakshmi Vilas Bank has indicated to the exchanges that the mutual due diligence with Clicks Group for a merger has now substantially been complete. Now they're in discussions for the next steps. Back to you.
All right. Thanks a lot for that. So that's a long list of stocks that we're looking at this morning. In case you missed out on any of them, here's a quick recap. Stocks with positive news flow: Sterlite Tech, Hexaware, SpiceJet, NFL, PNG Health, Aurobindo Pharma, Radico Khaitan, IRB Infra and Lakshmi Vilas Bank. While stocks with negative news flow, there's Whirlpool, Amber, Dixon, Liberty Shoes, Sterling and Wilson, VA Tech Wabag and ITD Cementation. But let's hop across to our commodities editor Manisha Gupta now to get a roundup of all the action that's happening in the commodity markets overnight. Hi Manisha, good morning.
Morning, Sonia. Thank you for that. Well, the crude oil prices continue to be very volatile. 3% of gains yesterday and 1.5% higher on your screens right now. This is after 24% of production in Gulf of Mexico is forced shut. And the U.S. weekly inventories also have shown a decline. So positives coming in on the way of crude. Longer term is still bearish as most agencies and banks continue to call it a weak demand recovery going forward. The base metal prices also have eased a bit, but then again, you have seen very strong China industrial output numbers, retail sales. So this is basically ahead of the US Fed meeting announcement today. The longer term view for some of these metals like copper and steel is still positive.
Okay, fine. So near term, perhaps a bit of red for metals, but longer term green, while crude near term green, but longer term red. Thank you very much, Manisha. We have to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Rajit Mehta, the Managing Director and CEO at Antara. That's a Max